So in previous lecture, we have seen the London-based firms exchange rate calculations. Now we the same transactions we have, but we put it in the context of the Indian-based firm. Suppose it is Indian-based firms and the rate is given this one. The same transactions, how we will be doing this? So in this previous thing we have done with the direct code. So here we will be doing with the help of the indirect code. The same transactions here. The first transaction keyword here I put it as Indian based firm. Now the Indian based firm receives a dividend amounting to euro 1,20,000 from its French associate company. So I put it as Indian based firm has received, okay, it received the dividend of euro 1,20,000 from a French associate company. Now we are Indian based firm. Now we have to think which rate is applicable over here, right? So we are Indian based firm, and we have to sell euro and we require rupees, right? We require uh, rupees and we require rupees, right? So what we will be doing? We will be selling euro to the bank. We'll be selling euro to the bank, right? And you have to see which exchange it is applicable. So here they have given the it is an indirect code, that is 1 unit of home currency and corresponding unit of foreign currency. Home currency in the sense I am talking on the point of view of India. Okay, 1 unit of home currency and corresponding unit of foreign currency. So this is given in indirect code. So you have to see which rate is applicable over here. So they have given the rate 1 rupee and the euro. So this we can rate 1 rupee equal to euro 0.0178. So this is the book example I've taken, right? 0.0178 and 0.0180. So this is selling euro to the bank. So 1 rupee equal to euro 0.0178 or 0.0180. So it is the indirect code they have given. Though we have to sell euro to the bank, so we require rupee. So at what rate the bank will be selling rupee? So it will be selling rupee at the rate of 0.0180. Okay, so rate here applicable is nothing but the 0.0180 euro for 1 rupee. So we have euro in our hands, right? We have euro of 1,20,000, right? But it is selling at this one. So we can convert this into a rupee that we require. So now here we have to divide because it is an indirect code, right? So 1,20,000, okay, 1,20,000 divided by 0.0180. So how much we are getting? So 1,20,000 divided by 0.0180. So we are getting something around 66 lakh 6,000. So something we are getting, right? 66 lakh 6666666, right? So this is the amount we are getting, right? So here there is no confusions over here. See, in the exchange rate that you have given, 1 rupee is equal to euro 0.0178. In the previous example we have multiplied, and you're asking, sir, why we are dividing it? See, here the firm is selling euro and the rate is given in indirect code, right? So for your purposes you can convert the rate in your angle also. So here euro 0.10. So from the banker's point of view, the bank will be selling rupee at 0.180, right? So this is rupee 1. Okay, so if I require 1 euro, I'm converting from idq to dq, right? If I treat 1 euro, then rupee will be 1 divided by 0.180. So this can be converted. If euro you require is 1,20,000, then this can be put as, you can multiply this amount 0.0180, right, into 1,20,000, then you will be getting an amount of 66 lakh 6666, right? So this is what I have done here. The second transactions, so here the we require what, we are selling euros, right? And we are receiving how much? 66 lakh 66666, right? Next, second example, the same example, we have the Indian based firm. I put once again here, the Indian based firm is has to pay the interest, has to pay the interest amount to the Japanese bank, right? The Indian based firm has to pay the interest to the Japanese bank, which is yen, right? So it has to pay 2 lakh yen, it has to pay 2 lakh yen to the bank. So we are Indian based firm, but we require what, we require yen, right? So we have to purchase or buy yen from bank, you have to purchase or buy yen from bank. Now you have to see the required rate that they have given. So here they have given 1 rupee is 2.50 yen and 2.51 yen. So these rate are theoretical rate, right? So rupee 1 equal to, they have given yen 2.50 and 2.51. So we require yen, so we have to purchase yen. And what we will be doing, we have to, when requiring yen, we have to pay in rupees, right? We have to pay in rupees. Now we have to see at which rate the bank is buying rupees, because we are, see, we have to buy yen, but it is given in indirect code, that what we will be doing, we will be paying in rupees, paying in rupees. Now you have to see at what rate the bank will be buying the rupee. At what rate the bank will be buying the rupee. So the bank will be buying the rupee at yen 2.50, and the bank will be selling rupee at 2.51. So we are buying yen, and the bank will be buying rupee at what rate? It will be buying rupee at 2.50, right? It will be buying rupee at 2.50, because we are paying in rupees, right, to require yen. So the bank buys rupee at 2.50, right? Now the applicable rate is nothing but this one, the bid rate. So yen, you have a 2 lakh yen, right? So this you can also convert this in a simpler way, that you can put it like this one also, yen 2.50 equal to rupee 1, right? And 1 yen is how much? 1 yen is equal to rupee 1 divided by 2.50, right? So this value can be multiplied with this one, right? So we'll be getting rupees 2 lakh into 1 divided by 2.50. So when I divided 2 lakh divided by 2.50, so we'll be getting rupees 80,000, right? So this is a negative value, because we have to pay in rupees, right? So it is nothing but your negative 80,000. So there is a cash outflow, right? So we have to pay 80,000 rupees, 80,000 to get an 2 lakh yen. So we have to pay 80,000 and we'll be receiving 2 lakh yen from the bank. So this can be given to your Japanese bank for paying your interest. So next, the third transaction, same transaction, the firm exported goods to USA and has just received US dollar 3 lakh. The same transaction from the point of view of the Indian based firm. So in the Indian based firm, okay, has exported goods to US, and we have received US dollar 3 lakh, right? Now from the Indian based point of view, we require what? So we have to sell, we require rupee only, so what is the purpose of this one? So we have to sell dollar to the bank, to the bank. Okay, so here we require rupee, we require we require rupee. Now you have to see the exchange rate. So what is the exchange rate which is given, which is an indirect code? Here they have given uh, 1 rupee is 0.0249 dollar, right? So $1 is equal to, they have given 0 point, which is in rupee, no sorry, 1 rupee, it is in, so they have given 1 rupee equal to dollar 0.0249 and dollar 0.0250, right? Now we have to sell dollar to the bank and we require rupee. So when we know that we require rupee, we have to see from the banker's point of view, at what rate the bank will be selling rupee, at what rate the bank will be selling rupee. So the bank will be selling rupee at 0.0250. Okay, the bank will, because we require rupee, right? So you have to see at what rate bank will be selling rupee. We are selling dollar to the bank, but we require rupee, right? So from the point of view of the banker, you have to see, because the exchange rate is given in indirect code, so you have to think only from the banker's point of view. So we require rupee, and you have to think that what rate the banker will be selling the rupee. So banker will be selling the rupee at 0.0250. So the applicable rate is this one. 1 rupee is nothing but dollar 0.0250. So the 3 lakh dollar we have. Okay, so because 1 divided by your ask rate, right? So 3 lakh divided by 0.0250, right? So how much we will be receiving? 3 lakh divided by 0.0250. So it comes around crore, right? So 1 crore 20 lakh. So we'll be receiving, see the firm receives, okay, 1 crore 20 lakh, right? So this is the transaction. Then the fourth transaction we have, the firm has imported goods from Singapore amounting to Singapore dollar. So from the point of view of the Indian based firm, okay, so the firm has imported goods, from Singapore. The firm has imported goods from Singapore, and we have to pay in Singapore dollar to the Singapore based firm. right, which is your 4 lakh Singapore dollar. Now, what we normally do, we require Singapore dollar. So we have to purchase or buy Singapore dollar from bank. Then you have to see the exchange rate, because the exchange rate is given in indirect code. See, since we are purchasing or buying Singapore dollar only by paying rupee, by paying rupee. So by paying rupee, then only we will be getting Singapore dollar. So we are paying rupee and the bank will be receiving rupee. So you have to see, well, while we are paying rupee, and you have to see at what rate the bank will be buying rupee, because it is given in indirect code, the exchange rate. So you see which rate is applicable. The rate, this is the rate, right? So 1 rupee equal to SGD 0.040. I'll write it here. So 1 rupee equal to the Singapore dollar, they have given 0.040 or 0.041. So since we are paying rupee, and you have to see from the point of view of the banker, we are paying rupee, so bank will be buying rupee, because we are paying rupee or we are giving rupee. So what rate the bank will be buying rupee? So the bank will be buying rupee at the bid rate, which is SGD 0.040, right? So you can put it in a conversion point, you can put it like this also. So it is given like SGD 0.040 is 1 rupee. So what is 1 SGD? So 1 SGD will be 1 divided by 0.040. So this value you can multiply with the value that we have to pay. So Singapore dollar, so for the Singapore dollar, right, so we need Singapore dollar, right? So for getting this Singapore dollar, how much we have to pay? So you can multiply the 4 lakh into the value 4 lakh into 1 divided by 0.040, so which is in rupee. So the rupee will be, we're dividing it, 4 lakh divided by 1 divided by 0.040. So once, so I'm getting 1 crore. So here the, because we are paying, it should be negative, because there is an outflow of cash, okay, the outflow of money. So in this we have the outflow of money. Here the firm receives, here the firm pays 80,000, right? Again here also the firm receives the money. So this is the point of view from the Indian based firm, and we have worked with the help of the indirect code, right? So thank you for watching the lecture.